Everybody has pain. Everyone experiences pain. What's your pain? What's the pain that hurts so much that it forces you to look within yourself and recognize that there needs to be change? What's the pain that's so heavy and so deep that when you think about it, it breaks your heart? You recognize that you should probably change some things in your life. There has to be a pain point, man. There has to be a pain point, y'all. We have to get to a point in our life where the pain is so much that all we desire is change. And I'm saying this to you as an ex-convict, and you could look at me like I'm weak, but I ain't no coward. I've fought fights. I've won some, I've lost some. But when I experienced that pain, when I was in that prison, sitting in that block, and I was sitting underneath that phone, and I was looking at the people around me, and I realized that nobody really cared. Everybody was lost, and everybody was selfish. And something broke inside my soul. And I knew I had to be a better man. And this probably happened when I was about 23, 24 years old. And I was sitting in prison doing my 7 years. And I had been involved in all kind of stuff. It was that point, it was that moment that I recognized that something had to change. Something had to give. I had to be a better man. And it wasn't going to happen unless I dealt with that pain. What's your pain? What hurt you so deep that you refuse to confront it? I realized that it wasn't me who wanted to be a gangster, but it was just a broken little boy. It was a little boy who just didn't know, Deep inside, the man that I was, there was a broken child. And I had to learn to confront the past so that I can address my present and move forward in my future. You have to recognize your pain, brothers, sisters, whoever you are watching this. You have to realize that life isn't just about you, but it's about you. We can't blame people. You can't blame circumstances, even though people and circumstances help mold us into who we become, good or bad. It's up to us to channel that inner pain. I'm not talking about that physical pain. I'm not talking about being punched in the mouth or fighting or getting a broken bone. I ain't talking about that pain. I'm talking about that pain that stings the soul, the pain that breaks the heart. You see, I'm experiencing some pain right now. I'm losing one of my best friends. It's a feline. He's a cat. But he's been with me and my wife for 15 years. And while I was walking out, being an ex-convict and a felon, when I couldn't get no opportunities and no chances, that cat ain't never judged me. He was there. He was good with me. Of course, I gave him his food. But while I was in prison, way before I even had this cat, I recognized that it was on me. And I got up from sitting underneath that telephone, and I had nobody else to call. I had exhausted all my resources because I went to prison, I got out, and I went back for even longer time. And at this point, people were like, that's just who he is. That's all he's ever going to be. In and out of prison, a gangster, a thug, a criminal, no good, selfish. And what can I say about all those titles? Because what I did up until that moment fit those molds. Selfish. I hurt my mother. I hurt my father. I hurt my children. Absent. And now they got to confront their pain, some of which I'm responsible for. And losing my mother and father, I'm blessed that they had got to see me a changed man. And they got to look me in my eyes. And they got to tell me, son, I'm proud of you. You became a good man. A son that any parent would be proud of. You see, I changed who I was. Changed my thought process. And I'm going to do things different. I'm going to say things different than the regular prison channels. Because I don't really care about my street cred. I don't care about beating my chest like I was somebody special and hard because I survived prison. I survived prison because I put myself in prison. I had to work in the fields in the state of Louisiana because I put myself there. I had some things happen to me in prison that weren't fair. I had some things happen to me. I got jumped. I got set up by the guards. I had dudes try to take my manhood. I had to stand up and fight. There was times when I was scared because I was about to fight somebody I knew I wasn't going to win. There was times I was scared of the guards because I didn't know what was going to happen next because I had filed an ARP on them. But after I confronted that pain and I recognized that it was all on me, I went to that mirror and I looked in that mirror and I said, okay, it starts today. And let me tell you something. That was over 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I've been out of prison for almost 20 years. So you know what I got bragging rights on? Making it. I'm not another statistics. I beat recidivism. I kept a job. I held it down. I paid my taxes. Things still aren't always fair. But I lace up my boots and I confront life. I'm blessed. I have a beautiful wife who loves me. She stands solid. And sometimes I take that for granted. See, I can still be a chump. I can be a little punk sometimes, you know what I mean? But I ain't got to beat my chest like I'm the baddest man there is. Nah, that ain't no good. I don't think you should. I don't think nobody should. What I do think you should do is confront your pain. Go look in the mirror. See who you are today and to see who you can become tomorrow. Adjust. Correct course. Change your life while there's still time. And if you owe an apology to somebody, especially your parents, your children, your grandparents, your community, maybe you need to start saying you're sorry. Humility is strength. I've become the best man I am through humility. And I just wanted to get this off my chest and share with y'all. I hope you are living your best life, man. And if you're into crime and prison-related content with an unusual and unique perspective, you're in the right place. Because at the pen and the shank, it ain't going to be status quo. We're going to get deep. We're going to talk deep. And we're going to cover issues. And we're also going to have a laugh or two along the way. Thanks for watching.